like sort of a political family. And so it's funny that I ended up in comedy because there was a time where I really saw a political future for myself because my dad ran for United States Senate in 1996. Yeah, long time ago. He ran in Oregon as a Democrat. Thank you. Yeah, he was running when Clinton was running for re-election. It was an exciting time, but it was weird because back then campaigns were so different, you know, like people didn't like slander each other like they do now and everything. He was running against a Mormon guy in Oregon named Gordon Smith. Anybody know Gordon Smith? No, it'd be so funny if you're like, yeah, we know him. We know this Mormon guy Gordon, where's he at? And so I went to school with a lot of Mormon kids growing up, and I didn't want my dad to win the election. I was like 8 years old, I didn't want him to win, and so I would like go around telling people that I didn't want him to win, but then what I didn't know was all the Mormon kids would come up to me and they go, well, just so you know, my dad isn't voting for your dad. I was like, cool, how do I join the church? Like, I will wear the underwear, I'll do the whole thing. And then the election results came out, and my dad lost the election. Let me tell you, it feels good to rig an election, if I'm being honest with you. You know, I see where Trump is coming from. That's the one issue. I'm like, yeah, we could do that again. That's fine. It's funny, though, because there's all these things that happen when you run for office. There's all this crazy stuff you have to do. And so when my dad was running for office, he loves to tell me these stories. And he goes, you know, I used to have to shake hands with people outside of movie theaters. I was like, people don't even go to movie theaters anymore. That's crazy. And so he said one time he went and he's standing outside of movie theaters, like Twister had just come out. And so people are in there like getting tossed around. And he comes out and he's like, hey, my name's Tom Bruggere and I would love your vote in November. And this guy hit my dad's hand out of the way. He goes, I wouldn't vote for you if you were the last man on earth. And without skipping a beat, my dad goes, well, if I was the last man on earth, I wouldn't need your vote. No freaking wonder you lost, Dad. Like, and this is what you tell when he comes out? It's insane. And then, you know, you get to meet the people at the top of your ticket when you're running for office. So Clinton was running that year. So like, I got to meet Bill, I got to meet Hillary and Al and Tipper when they were still married. And so my parents went to this like fundraising dinner. And both my parents were there, but only my dad was seated at Bill Clinton's table. There were no other women seated at the table. Hillary wasn't there, nothing. And so my dad taps on Secret Service's shoulder, because he's a nosy my dad. And he's like, hey, how come there's no women at this table? Like, is everything cool? And the Secret Service goes, oh, no, mind your business, sir. There are no women allowed to be seated next to the president under any circumstances whatsoever. At all. This is before Monica Lewinsky, you guys. Okay, you think it's hard to keep Joe Biden alive? Try keeping pussy away from Bill Clinton. For a 90s joke. I love it, okay? We are so bad. We are so bad. This is crazy. I think about this a lot. For better or for worse, I don't know, you're gonna judge me, so we'll see how this goes. I think that if my dad had won the election, he would have been a great senator, okay? Like, he is such a good person. But I know that he would have been invited to Epstein's Island. Everybody was, okay? Like, and he's a cool guy, and like he and Bill would have been good friends. Like he probably would have been friends with Epstein. They would have been going to all the things. And I know he would have said yes to the invitation, not because he's a. My dad, I want to say be very clear about this because he knows I do this joke. And he's like, what the fuck are you? My dad is not a. But he does love an island vacation. He's a great golfer. He loves a Mai Tai. If you tell him he can get a massage while he's there, he's not going to say no. Okay? So I think some of the people that went there might be innocent. I don't know. Probably not. But you know, there's got to be one guy that would have been like my dad. You know, it wasn't Bill Gates. It wasn't Bill Clinton. It wasn't Donald Trump. Might have been my dad. When he dies, I hope I get to see the flight logs. Just to make sure, you know, like it could have been a consolation prize, like, hey Tom, sorry you lost the election, but we got a nice vacation for you. God, what a downer that would be.